Now, over the past few years, we've seen the devastating effects of the war in Syria, including the flood of refugees out of the country. To get a sense of the crisis, war photographer Sebastian travelled to UN refugee camps near the border with Jordan. He also went to Africa to visit with those forced from their homes in South Sudan. His pictures are part of a new exhibit at the National Press Club here in Washington. I spoke to Sebastian a short time ago. Sebastian, after 30 years of covering war and conflicts around the world, what impact do you want these photographs to have?
The only thing a refugee has when she or he has lost everything is pride and dignity, and it always seemed to shine through in my pictures. So I've just been back from assignment for the United Nations, UNHCR, in Jordan, Syria and Sudan, trying to capture what was left of these people, and that was their pride and dignity.
And you have a real focus on children in your work. Why is that?
I think it's very simple, because I have children and I like children, and I've always found it terribly sad in the middle of a war that the children are completely unaware. They have no idea what's going on and always so frightened, and it's just the innocence of a child at war that has always struck me.
And your pictures of refugees going into that no man's land between Syria and Jordan, they're very poignant.
It's a very moving point in that person's life, because as soon as they cross that no man's land, they are officially stamped a refugee, and then they go through this whole process. They have lost everything they've known, they've lost their country. Usually family members have been killed or left behind. And there's a terrible realization. You can see it on their faces, and I think I've captured it in one or two photographs where some of the refugees have gone through hell from one end of Syria to get to this point. And it's a relief to get across, but at the same time, the realization that everything they knew has gone.
And once Syrian refugees get to those camps inside Jordan, you capture how daily life still goes on. You have that picture of the dresses. Tell us about that one.
Oh, that's fabulous. That was a young Syrian lady called Saha, and she had not lost hope. She had not given in. She had opened up a wedding dress hire shop inside the refugee camp. Lord alone knows how she got the dresses to the camp, but she managed to get them into the camp, and she hires out these dresses 4 times a week to weddings that happen in the camp, which was, for me, that picture as a photographer is much more exciting than all the other rather dramatic pictures.
You also have a lot of pictures from southern Sudan, which is the world's newest country, yet one that is fraught with conflict.
Terrifying, horrible, horrible stories from all of them. There was one little old lady of 86 years old who was in the sort of late stages of dementia. And I tried very hard to take a very soft, sympathetic photograph of her, but in her moments of clarity and the senility, she would suddenly remember the bombings from the Antonov bombers and just burst into floods of tears and hold her face. But yeah, once again, trying to capture that dignity, the one thing they have left.
Sebastian, thank you very much indeed.
It's my pleasure, thank you.